All right, well, we've got something a little bit different for you today. Call it a history lesson, a local history lesson, if you will. Now, it's not uncommon to see in area towns old cannons or artillery pieces as a symbol of not only our region's history, but our nation's involvement in several international wars and many local veterans. However, one piece in particular right here in Claremont has a lot more history and significance to it than one may think initially. As a self-proclaimed history buff with a specialty in the Second World War, I now bring you this special look at one of Claremont's most interesting historic features. At first glance, the black cannon aiming towards the sky, sitting in front of Golden Cross Ambulance in Claremont's Lacasse Park off of North Street, seems like a regular old cannon. Now, this seemingly plain old rusty gun stands in memory of local veteran Oliver Lacasse, and to all the soldiers who fought and died in World War I. However, being the history buff that I am, I've known since the first time I saw this artillery piece that it is in fact a very special and rare relic. The foreboding gun is actually a German 75mm Pak-40 anti-tank cannon that was developed during World War II by Rheinmetall in Germany. It is reputed to be the best anti-tank gun during the entire war. Now, Pak is short for Panzerabwehrkanone, which we can break down into three parts. Panzer means tank, Abwehr is roughly translated as to be repulsed or to meet with repulse, which we can translate as anti, and Kanon, which you can guess means cannon. Thus, we have anti-tank cannon. These powerful weapons were the successor to the Pak-38, which, as the name implies, was designed during 1938. However, as World War II began and reports reached Berlin about the Russians using a new battle tank, the T-34, a desire for a more powerful gun arose. Now, the Pak-40s once developed were feared by Allied tankers as the 7.5cm round was effective against almost every Allied tank, including the recognizable M4 Sherman. Now, it is very interesting to look at this cannon here in Claremont and know that around 70 years ago, it once struck fear into the hearts of Allied tank crews. Around 24,000 of these guns were produced during the Second World War, but only a large handful survive to this day, including the one right here in Claremont. Now, not much is known about Claremont's Pak-40 except that it was most likely used on the Western Front against the American and British armor. It was then captured by the US, returned to the States, and donated to Claremont in 1948 by the American Legion, 3 years after the war ended. Now, these guns are mostly found in museums, so to have one right here in Claremont in public view is certainly a neat thing, especially for any history buffs. If you're ever driving through Claremont or live nearby and you're interested in old battlefield relics, do take the time to stop and check out this cannon that once served as the backbone of German anti-tank guns during the Second World War. Now, I should note that if you're a fine-scale modeler, this piece serves as a great real-life reference for painting or any detail work you're doing. Again, it's really something to see a cannon that was once greatly feared around 70 years ago, simply sitting passively and harmless right here in the city. I do recommend that you check it out. And that concludes our history lesson for today.